Hi class, welcome to week 4 of reading and writing. I hope that you have enjoyed a really nice Golden Week break and that you have a little bit more energy and that you could relax during your break and have some downtime. Downtime is an expression to explain time that you just spend relaxing and you don't have to do so many responsibilities. So I hope that you had some good downtime during your Golden Week break. In week 4, we are going to do 3 things. First, we are going to finish chapter 2 in our Ready to Write 3 textbook. Then we are going to take a final look at our mini writings. We'll look at concluding sentences and then also some other details like transition words and if all of the ideas in our paragraph are connected. So that's coherence. And we'll practice that in chapter 2 and take a final edit of our paper. And then we will also have some My English Lab activities to finish chapter 2. For chapter 1, I believe 20 out of 26 students did the My English Lab. Some of you guys have never even been on the website. So if that is you, it is time to go onto the website and do the activities. I will grade chapter 1 and chapter 2 at the same time. So please get on the website and finish your homework. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to pull out our textbooks and we are going to look at concluding sentences. So please open your book to page 38. Page 38, you should be looking at concluding sentences. If you remember, in the other classes, we looked at topic sentences and supporting sentences. So a topic sentence, quick review, has 2 parts to it. Do you remember what they are? The topic and the focus, right? And then supporting sentences give what 3 things? Facts, examples, and details. I think the book also says reasons. And now we will look at a concluding sentence. So let's first read this together. Concluding sentences. Some paragraphs end with a concluding sentence. This sentence often restates the main idea of the paragraph using different words. It summarizes the main points of the paragraph or makes a final comment on the topic. The concluding sentence helps readers because it reminds them of the main point and because it signals the end of the paragraph, right? So the concluding sentence says, this is what I'm talking about and we are finished. Here are some common ways to begin a concluding sentence. Notice that these words or phrases are followed by a comma. All in all, comma. As you can see, in conclusion, in short, indeed, and as a result. I want to mention in our mini writings, these are all okay because the mini writing is semi-formal. If you are doing formal writing, don't use as you can see. You shouldn't use the word you in formal writing. So you can use something more like in conclusion or as a result. Okay. Concluding sentences are common in standalone paragraphs, but they are not necessary for every type of paragraph. For example, some very short paragraphs don't need a concluding sentence. And also paragraphs that are a part of longer pieces of writing often don't have concluding sentences. So what we are going to start with is just reading this paragraph right here. So read with me, please. The advantages of credit cards. Credit cards have a lot of advantages. First of all, credit cards are convenient because you don't have to carry a lot of cash around. You can buy the products and services you need, even if you do not have cash in your pocket. In addition, credit cards are very helpful in emergencies. Finally, you can become a better money manager as you learn to use credit cards responsibly. as you can see, there are many advantages of using credit cards. Okay, so the first thing is we're supposed to underline the concluding sentence. So it's going to be at the end of the paragraph, okay? This is our concluding sentence. As you can see, there are many advantages. If we go and look for our topic sentence, we'll find it at the beginning, right? Credit cards have a lot of advantages. As we've practiced, we'll find the topic, credit cards, and specifically about credit cards, we're talking about what? What is the focus? The advantages. So we're talking about the advantages of credit cards. Also from my title, you can tell. After the topic sentences comes the supporting sentences. So we have here 3 reasons, right? One reason, first of all, they're convenient. And then we have, this is a detail, you can buy the products. In addition, second reason, they're very helpful for emergencies. And reason number 3, so that's 1, 2, 3. You can become better at using money, okay? And then we have our concluding sentence. So B, what words did the author use from the topic sentence? So you'll see in this paragraph is pretty simple. So they use the same words, right? They use credit cards and they use advantages again. They also take one word, but they change it for a synonym. So we've got a lot of, which is the same as many, right? So they have 3 of the same ideas in both sentences and 2 have the exact same words, advantages and credit cards. So a tip, when you write a concluding sentence, you can repeat words or use synonyms of words from the topic sentence. I would suggest that you don't repeat words a lot. If you repeat the same words in your writing, it can be a little boring for the reader. So I really agree with this though, use synonyms of words. So synonyms is when we have the same idea, but we have a different word. So a lot and many, very, often, those are all synonyms to mean that it happens many times or there is a lot of it. And it's a little bit more interesting to read if you use synonyms. If you repeat the same word, it can be a little bit boring. But that is our concluding sentence. And that explanation is really short. So now we have looked at the major sentences in a paragraph. For the rest of the chapter, we are briefly going to look at a few different aspects of good writing to improve it. So we're done with the actual writing of the sentences, and we're going to look first at titles. Most of you guys did the title correctly, but different languages do titles differently. So let's specifically talk about how you write a title in English, and then you can check what you wrote. Here are some things to remember when we write titles. They are not complete sentences. They capitalize the first and last words and all other important words. So those are nouns, verbs, adjectives. We're not going to capitalize a word like a in the middle of the sentence or a preposition like to, but if it's the first word, then you do capitalize it. So, and you don't have a period, and it's in the middle, it's in the center over the paragraph. So let's just take a quick look at these titles and we're going to correct them. So I want you to pause the video, take a minute to try to correct these titles using these instructions, and then I will show you my answers and I want you to check your answers. So pause the video. Okay, now let's check our answers together. So for number 1, benefits of solar energy. So maybe you have that this of needs to be lowercase because it is a preposition. Benefits of solar energy. 2, this one needs to not be all capitals. So my will be capital because it's the first word, and then new because it's an adjective, and roommate because it is a noun. These are all important words. Then how to change attire. So first, we don't put these on a title. And second, some of these words need to be capital. So how, capital, to, no. Change, yes. Okay, I enjoy spending time with my friends. This is a sentence. Titles are not sentences. So we need to make this shorter. There are different ways that you can do this. Maybe you did it differently than me. Two options could be enjoying time with friends. Oops. Enjoying time with friends, or it could be spending time with friends, something like that. So you see this is not a full sentence. And then it is important to dress appropriately for a job interview. This is also a sentence. So we need to make it not a full sentence. So we could say something like the importance of dress for a job interview, or we could do something like dressing appropriately. Dressing appropriately for a job interview. Okay. Also, so you see that when I'm creating these titles, a lot of them are with a gerund, right? Enjoying time, spending time, dressing appropriately. All right, so check your answers. Give yourself a check if you got it, or write another version if you need to add a note. Okay, so that's what we're going to say about titles. Now, please turn the page to page 40, and we're going to talk about developing unity. So unity is when things go together. If there isn't unity for writing, it means that you're talking about one thing. You say, I love dogs. Dogs are amazing. I have a dog. And then all of a sudden you say, and my cat is amazing too. And then you keep talking about dogs. That sentence about your cat does not go in that paragraph because it is not connected, right? Or why you always go to a certain restaurant and you say, this restaurant has the best food. It's amazing. My friends love to go there. I went there when I was a kid. It's closed on Tuesday. That's about the restaurant, but it's not about why you love it so much. It's not connected. So this is unity, okay? So in addition to writing a clear topic sentence and providing adequate support, you need to make sure your paragraph has unity. When every sentence relates to the main idea by explaining it or proving it, the paragraph has unity. If a sentence does not relate to the main idea, it is irrelevant. So that means that it is not connected, it's not related. You should eliminate irrelevant sentences from your paragraph. Okay, so take a moment to read these two paragraphs. The first one has unity, the second one does not. And you'll see here the reason why. So take a moment to read the paragraph. Okay, pause if you need more time. So this paragraph has unity because it's talking about one idea, which is the apartment's terrible location. Everything talks about the location and the apartment and why it is bad. This paragraph here is talking about good location, and most of it are about that, but the last one that describes the house as roomy, comfortable, and sunny doesn't have to do with the location. Apartment, yes. But remember, our topic sentence has two things. It's about the apartment, but the focus is the location. So if you talk about why you like the apartment, sure, that's talking about the apartment, but it's not talking about the location. You have to talk about both to have unity. So we're going to, on this page, read a paragraph that a student wrote, and we're going to cross out the irrelevant sentences. Okay, so first we will read the paragraph together, and then we will take the sentences out. It's always a good idea to read the paragraph first, because then you can see the whole idea before you try to do an activity, because maybe you don't know what's going to happen later in the paragraph. Okay, so let's read this one together. First night. Every year on New Year's Eve, Boston hosts a community celebration called First Night so people can celebrate the new year together. Boston was the first city in the United States to launch a special event to celebrate New Year's Eve. First Night attracts more than 1.5 million people. For the $20 cost of a First Night button, people gain general admission to many different events. Boston is the higher ed capital of the United States. The two largest universities within the city itself are Boston University and Northeastern University, and in nearby Cambridge are Harvard University and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. The evening begins with a grand costumed parade around the Boston Common and ends at midnight with fireworks over Boston Harbor. In between, there are more than 250 performances of international music, dance, and theater, and as well as puppetry and many films to choose from. Boston is also host to the well-known Boston Marathon, which is run in April. 200 cities and towns in the United States, Canada, and Australia have now launched celebrations like the one in Boston for New Year's Eve. Okay, we're going to pause the video and decide which sentences are not related to talking about the event in Boston on New Year's Eve. So pause. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is look at the topic sentence. If you remember, the topic sentence is like the driver of the paragraph. It tells the reader what you're talking about, and then it controls the rest of the sentence. So we're talking about New Year's Eve, Boston hosts a community celebration called First Night. Okay, so we're talking about New Year's Eve in Boston. And we're talking about Boston. And specifically, we're talking about the celebration that happens on New Year's Eve. Okay, so everything in my paragraph needs to be about the celebration on New Year's Eve in Boston. Then if it's not about that, I know the sentence does not belong in this paragraph. If in another paragraph, for example, we want to talk about a different Boston holiday, that's okay. But this one is about New Year's Eve. Okay, so let's see. Boston was the first city to launch a special event on New Year's Eve. Connected, right? Talking about Boston, New Year's Eve. First Night attracts more than 1.5 million people. Connected, about New Year's Eve. For the $20 cost of a First Night button, people can gain general admission to many different events. Connected. Boston is the higher education capital in the United States. Higher education means universities. This sentence is not about New Year's Eve. The two largest universities. Okay, again, so this is a supporting detail for that. This is a topic sentence for a new paragraph. These sentences should not be in this paragraph because they are not about New Year's Eve in Boston. Okay, so you can get general admission to many different events. The evening begins with a costume parade about the celebration. In between, there are more than 250 performances. Okay, Boston is also well known for the Boston Marathon. This is a run, a race that is not about New Year's. This is also why Boston is famous, but it's not about New Year's. So this does not go in this paragraph. 200 cities and towns have now launched celebrations. Okay, so the rest of the sentences are good. And this is the conclusion, the concluding sentence, right? Okay, did you get the same answers as me? go ahead and check that. Okay, now turn the page to page 42. And I want you to do this activity by yourself. Okay, so do C by yourself. Cross out the sentences, that are not related. So first you need to look at the topic sentence. What is the paragraph about? Topic and focus, and then decide which sentences do not connect to that topic and focus. Okay, and to review, sorry, I forgot to say it earlier. So we did this page together. Okay, so I want you to take a picture of this page. Also, please take a picture of this page of first night. And after you complete this activity by yourself, take a picture. 3 pictures so far for your bookwork homework. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and take a moment to complete activity C. Okay, so we have talked about concluding sentences, titles, and now unity. The next thing we're going to talk about is called coherence. Coherence. So that means that your ideas flow smoothly and logically. I know a lot of you guys in week 1, when I asked you what you want to practice in your English, said that you want to make sure your sentences in English are very, very clear so that your reader can understand your English and understand your ideas. So this part of the book is important for you because it will help us practice writing clear sentences for work, for school, for people we need to communicate with in English. So coherence, remember, means your ideas go together smoothly, and it makes it so readers can follow the main ideas more easily. Okay, so you should do several things. Organize the sentences so that the order of the ideas makes sense. Use transitions to help the readers understand how the ideas in your paragraphs are connected, and repeat important keywords and phrases, and use synonyms. Add that. Okay, so we don't have time to look at this, but we are going to move. You can read this if you would like. I think you already do this, okay? I think reading your writing, you guys do this. So I don't want to spend a lot more time talking about it, but I do want to talk about transitions. Reading your writing, I noticed that a lot of you guys use transitions in your writing, which is great. One thing is I read a lot of first, second, third. So let's look at some different words that we can use in addition to first, second, third. Let's get some more vocabulary to make our writing a little bit more complicated and a little bit more interesting. So these transition words connect ideas, and there's different types because there's different relationships between ideas. Okay, we have time relationships like after, before, during. We have spatial, so that means physical, right? Like above, across, in the back of. These are also prepositions. And here, additional ideas. So this is where you guys have the first, second, third. So you can say, learning English online is complicated. First, you can't ask your teacher as many questions. Second, you don't practice talking as much. And third, you don't interact with your classmates. However, we can also say it differently. We could say, first, you can't ask as many questions. Moreover, you can't talk to your classmates. And in addition, you don't practice as much speaking. So we have more options to show more ideas. Okay, that's my challenge to you guys, is to use something new in your writing. Okay, and then transitions that show examples, like for example, such as specifically. Okay, so this page gives you some really great vocabulary. I want you to mark it in your book and come back to it and use these transitions in your writing. Okay, so now that we have talked about these things, we are going to get into our essays. Okay, this is the last time that we're going to edit. So this is your final chance to look at your writing and make any final changes. So please pull up your writing. This one's mine. If you remember, we've done this for 3 weeks now. So you have 3 drafts. You have your first one from week 2 with topic sentences, week 3 with supporting sentences, and now we're going to have week 4 with concluding sentences and other details. Okay, so please copy your essay. Okay, we're going to do another one and change the date. Today for me is May 4th, and this is draft number 4. Okay, so first, I want you to check that you have a concluding sentence. Okay, do you have a final sentence in your paragraph that summarizes your ideas? Okay, so just check if you have concluding sentences. I want you to check your title. Okay, is the first word capitalized? Are the important words, the nouns, the adjectives, the verbs, are they capitalized? And then are the other ones not? Is it a full sentence? Okay, so check your concluding sentence, check your title. And then what we're going to do in draft 4 is we're going to look at unity and coherence. So go ahead and unhighlight your essay. Okay, unhighlight your essay. The first thing we're going to do is look at unity. Okay, we're looking at our body paragraphs, paragraph 2, paragraph 3, with our ideas. I want you to think, what is my paragraph about? And are all my ideas about that? Okay, so for me, my paragraph, this one is about communicating in Japanese in daily life. Then I need to go into my paragraph and say, okay, this one, many people speak English in Japan, but not everyone. Is that about communicating in Japanese? Yes, but the way that I wrote it is not very clear. So first I must communicate in Japanese in daily life because many people speak English in Japan, but not everyone. I'm going to add another sentence so it connects to speaking Japanese. So I not expect people to talk with me in English. Okay, I cannot expect all people. Okay, now it's connected better to Japanese in my life. Okay, if I get lost and my phone dies, I'll be in a bad situation if I need to talk to a stranger. That's Japanese. I need Japanese to go to the store, Japanese daily life, and I hope to learn basic expressions. It's my conclusion, right? Now, this paragraph is about, I need to improve my listening comprehension in conversations. So it's about listening in conversations. Right now, it will be very difficult for me to talk to people in Nagoya because okay, for me, it's not talk. It'll be very difficult for me to understand. This is about listening, right? About listening. I'm memorizing different expressions, but if I cannot understand, they're not helpful. Okay, that's listening. Currently, if someone speaks quickly, I cannot understand. I need them to repeat. Also, I want to be able to make friends. If I can't understand them, I can't respond to them. Okay, and I hope to practice listening. Okay, so now my paragraphs have unity. So check your paragraphs for unity. And then we're going to look at transition words. Okay, remember a lot of you guys have used first, second, and third. So the challenge is don't use those words. You can use first, but no second, no third. So I want you to look at the transitions words that you have used. First, I want you to highlight them. Okay, so I've got first. I have so, also, currently, in addition. So go to yours and highlight your transition words. Okay, those are my transition words. So you can see I have some different ones, but I do have second. So I want in your paragraphs, you need at least 4 transition words, and you cannot use second or third or fourth. Okay, first is okay, but you cannot use second or third. So if you have second or third, you need to change it. Okay, so let's take a look at our book, and I need to use a different one. So I'm over here on words that show additional ideas. So I could use another reason or furthermore. Let's see. I'm going to use furthermore. That means I'm giving you another example. Okay, and then I can think, do I want to add any or do I want to make any more complicated? So, okay, so we are going to first highlight them, and also if you used so in yours, I did. So is a little bit casual, and also you can see that I have 2, so and so. My writing will be stronger if I use different words. I'm going to change this transition word to a different one. Let's change it to therefore. Okay, therefore means because of this, then I should do this. So I'll be in a bad situation if I need to talk to a stranger. Because of that, I should learn some basic Japanese, therefore. Okay, so go ahead and put your transition words in red. And if you have second or third, take them out, change them for a different transition word. If you have a lot of the same transition words, so, also, change them for a synonym, and reference these lists in our textbook on page 44 for examples of words that you can use. Remember, if you don't know what something means, I recommend you use Longman's dictionary. And you can come in here and you can look it up. For example, I use the word therefore, and as a result, right? As a result, that's what therefore means. So you can always use this for your dictionary. Okay. This is the end of our editing. Read it one more time. Make sure it is your best work. Also change your word count if you need. You can see my essay slowly got longer. Your essays should be a little bit longer, right? 218, 284, and now 295, just a little bit. Okay. Also, I want you to do this again. My homework for week 4 took me. I'm really appreciating reading how long it took you. For some people, it's really fast, maybe 30, 40 minutes. Some people are spending hours on the homework. So this really helps me to know where you are in your homework. Please put this again at the end of the essay. All right, so remember, for draft 4, you need to check your title, the coherence, or the unity, do my ideas go together, that you have a concluding sentence, and your transitions. Put the transitions in red. Don't repeat the same transition. You can use first, but if you have second and third, please change it for a new transition word. And you need at least 4 transition words in your essay. You can see I have 8. So I imagine you will have more than 4, but at least 4 transition words. All right, so that is it for the book. That is it for the essay. You will put this on Manaba again in assignments. And the last thing that I want to show you is we are going to do some activities on My English Lab. You have 2 activities that you need to finish under chapter 2. So you will do practice 5. Okay, you'll do activity 5. So this is just looking at topic sentences, looking at your guys' paragraphs. We need just a little bit more practice on this. So you need to read the paragraph and choose the best topic sentence. And then you're also going to do practice activity number 8. And this one, so I know it says 2, 3, 4, but imagine it is a paragraph. So this is like the same activity that we did here, where you have to take out the irrelevant sentences. So what you're going to do is imagine this is a paragraph and it starts, San Francisco is an outstanding city to visit on vacation for 3 reasons. First, it has many great tourist attractions. So you're going to have to look and say, is this off topic? So is it talking about something else? Relevant, is it good? Is it connected to the topic sentence? And wrong place. So it's a good sentence, but we need to move it somewhere else in the paragraph. Okay, so San Francisco is an outstanding city to visit on vacation for 3 reasons. First, it has many great tourist attractions. Restaurants in San Francisco feature every imaginable type of ethnic food, as well as outstanding fish dishes. Is this not about tourism, or about tourism, but in the wrong place? So we would move it in the paragraph. So this one is about, maybe about tourist attractions, but probably in the wrong place. And then more than 10 million tourists visit San Francisco a year, so etc. Read the paragraph and decide the sentences if they're connected or not. Okay, remember when you're finished, you click submit, and then I can see it here. These are the 2 activities that you need to do on My English Lab. All right, that is it for week 4. Next class, we'll be starting a new topic. So our essays will be done. I have really enjoyed looking at your essays and seeing as you work on them and as they get better, as you improve them. So good work, everyone, and I will see you soon. Bye.